All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Let's get the 10-minute 5x5 session out of the way. Oh, boy. So, a lot of protests going on in the city, by the way. All stupid. It's insanity. Whatever. All right, Adam, thank you to 5x5. Jeff, Tim, Dobie, Tia, thank you to 5x5. Flown Grown, Ozark, Elaine, Outlook, Nora, Joe, Loretta, Johnny, Patty, thank you to 5x5. Rev, Bad, sorry, thank you to 5x5. Nick, Christopher, Leona, Nanny, Helsa, Jan, Harold, thank you to 5x5. Beef and Chicken, Silver, Mr. Landfill, thank you to 5x5. Pete, thank you for the 1020. Danville, Maria Jackson, Nebbins, Carrie, Dwayne, thank you to 5x5. Chewy, Groundhog, Daryl and Derek, thank you for the 5x5. Bucky, Dana, Mabel, Lone Wolf, thank you for the 5x5. Got through that pretty fast. All right, Renee and Eric, thank you for the 5x5. All right, guys, so tonight we are, thank you, Helsa, SP and Bush Pig. Mary House, Hose, thank you for the 5x5. And Prep to Adapt. So, guys, Comet Moon and Lisa. So, a lot's going on, apparently. And, you know what? It's everywhere. The amount of things that are going on is everywhere. It's like in every field. Like in Hollywood right now, everybody's panicking because of Puff Daddy. All right? Puff Daddy gets locked up. Now, all of a sudden, you got celebrities deleting their Instagram. Now, Usher did it yesterday. Pink did it earlier this year, and I think she did it again recently within the last couple of days. Everybody's flipping out. Jennifer Lopez is super quiet. So the Hollywood industry is falling apart right now because of Puff Daddy. Right? And then in the political arena, we got this 2024 election going on. And a president who had his life threatened twice, and then the device they found in Long Island, you have a lot going on with that. Then you have the possibility of a war. Now, I don't think we're going to see a third world war. I think we're definitely going to see a war of some kind and boots on the ground over in the Middle East. You got the climate shifting, the doomsday iceberg or glacier ready to fall off and cause the mother of all tsunamis. You got microplastic being found in everything. I think right now they even found it in the brain, and they found it in penis tissue. Why? I don't know why they mention that, but that's where they find microplastics. And then you have the people worrying about the sun. And the article came out yesterday or 2 days ago about a possible solar flare wiping out humanity. Or rather, it asks if a solar flare could wipe out humanity. So, again, a lot's going on. So much is going on, it's hard to keep up with everything. Nonetheless, tonight we're going to focus on what's going on in the Middle East. Everything else that's going on, it is what it is. Jan, they found a bomb at the Trump rally last week on Long Island, sorry. And they said that they said it was a device, right? A device that goes boom. And then the next day they said, oh, by the way, it was a training exercise for their sniffing bomb dog. So when they said that, they were like, oh, okay. I was like, get the fuck out of here. You kidding me? There's no way you can confuse the two. And there's no way PD found this device and they looked at it, or rather they looked at it from a distance and go, oh yeah, that's a thing. Get the squad in. So they come in, they look at it, they determine it's that kind of device. And then the next day they go, oh, it was a practice. It's a practice bomb? I get the fuck out of here. So that's number 3. Though, that device would have only injured supporters. It wouldn't have injured him. Because he would have been far away from it. Where it was found, I think it was in a parking lot. So he would have been fine, but the supporters wouldn't have been so fine. But Arizona, about 2 weeks ago now, there was a rally out there, and a bunch of people, I think it was 12 or maybe 15, 12 to 15 people had burning sensation in their eyes and had to all be transported to the hospital. And there were a couple of people that had burning in their eyes but didn't get transported to the hospital. And that was at a rally in Arizona, and no one was talking about it. You guys can look that up. I am going to do a separate video on it. But still, I've never seen anything like it. So, Mr. Enigma said they found rabies in a sea lion in California. That's very interesting. So, again, guys, everything's going on, and there's too many things to try to keep up with. You know, people will email me, did you see this? Did you see that? So, on my midweek report, I have a few interesting things to talk about tomorrow morning. One of them being the government getting ready for a mass casualty event and what it could be linked to. It's two things it could be linked to, actually. But we'll talk about that on the Angryprepper, the Angry Truth channel, excuse me. Jamie said laser. Yes. Not prep to adapt. Sorry. The Prepper Revelator told me it was some sort of a device. Let me see. Is it called a P-Tech? Is that what it's called? He texts me. I hate when I have to go so far back. Okay. Yeah, it's called a PEC 15, right? Is that how you pronounce it? PEC 15? Right? I guess it's like a laser scoping device, and that they pan people's eyes, and that's why they were burning. It didn't hit Trump, but it hit him. I think Trump's detail is compromised. There's no way, guys. There has never been, in the history of our election, this many complications with a president and Secret Service and FBI. Never. Never in the history. I mean, like, the amount of failure, PEC 15. Yeah, it's PEQ 15. IR laser. Okay, I guess I don't know anything about that. You guys know more about that shit than I do. So, there's clearly, guys, something going on with Secret Service. It's clear as day. And the fact that no one else is raising these questions, no one else is saying that they should fire every last one of the Secret Service guys and hire a private security firm. I'm pretty sure a company like Blackwater, though Blackwater doesn't exist anymore, companies like Blackwater can do a way better job than Secret Service. Because, again, it's the amount of failures that are going on. I mean, even if that device in Long Island was a practice device, it still doesn't make sense that they found it in a parking lot when they should have swept the parking lot 1,000 times. Now, I was on the live stream with somebody today. I think it's Sean from the homesteading. I forgot his name. I forgot his homesteading channel name. But he said that you can equate some of this stuff to failure of duty, right? People not acting in their job and doing the right thing. And I would agree with that if it would have happened once. But there's too many incidents for it not to be a pattern, for it not to be a failure done on purpose. So this is not so much a failure as it's being done on purpose. And the fact that everybody's missing that or not speaking up about it is alarming. And Trump's not even speaking up about it, which is even more alarming. So I'm like, that's why in the back of my head, guys, I think that Trump is not for this race. Because he should be screaming and yelling at the top of his lungs, was there a shooter on the roof? Why was this guy laying in a cut over at the golf course? Even on the outskirts, they should have had a guy do a perimeter. But they didn't. And the guy was able to lay there long enough until someone else was able to fire at him. Then you had a practice device in a parking lot, which they should have swept the parking lot, either local PD and Secret Service, or both together do a joint search, being that he already had an attempt on his life. So all of this, guys, is just very, very red flaggy. Very red flaggy. And listen, they might hacking the homestead. Thank you, Joy. Hacking the homestead, which very cool guy, by the way. Didn't know anything about his channel. He is more popular on TikTok than he is on YouTube. So if you're looking for him, look for him on TikTok. Because he has some videos on YouTube, but not enough. He has more videos on TikTok. Red Scout, go to fucking sleep. It's too late for your bullshit. But anyway, Falcon, he very well could be tired. You're right. He could absolutely be tired of all this bullshit. He'd just be like, I just want to get through this bullshit, and then that's it. He could actually drop out. If he is not going to put his best foot forward, or he's nervous about being assassinated, he should definitely drop out of the race. I think. I don't know. Yeah, I don't do TikTok either, so. Yeah, he said cold, dark winter too many times. But who knows, man? I mean, really, we don't know. We don't know shit. There's these, like the CEOs of a lot of company bounced last Friday, last week. A lot of them resigned. Damn near every, I think, figurehead for Blackstone or BlackRock. No, not Blackstone. Excuse me. 23andMe bounced after Blackstone bought Ancestry.com. I think somebody else is going to buy 23andMe. So they are trying to, and this is on a deeper, more scarier scale right now. If I'm not mistaken, it was BlackRock, not Blackstone. They were trying to patent people's DNA, and they couldn't. They couldn't get it done. So the object was, once your DNA was given to Ancestry.com or 23andMe or any other, DNA scanning bullshit company, they wanted to patent that so that they owned your DNA. There was a bunch of reasons behind it, and I didn't get to read into all of it. But when I heard it, I was like, yo. Yes, Blackstone and BlackRock are two different companies. If I'm not mistaken, Blackstone is a subsidiary of BlackRock. Go figure. Maybe so that they don't get caught in monopolizing. That's why they broke it up. Calamity Girl, exactly. We have to prepare for anything. Which, Calamity Girl, I'll text you at the end of the night to schedule a date for us to be on. We're gonna try it again, but it'll be next week, because this week I think I'm booked as far as work goes, real work. Carol Davis, I don't know what they want with your DNA, but the fact that they put in a patent, or they put in a patent for people's DNA. So not just like one DNA, the thousands of millions that they received, they were looking to do they were looking to patent it. And I'm like, for what? So there's only one there's a couple of reasons, but one reason is to own the human that has the DNA. Right? To own you legally, which they can't because that's a form of slavery. The other thing is to own that DNA to clone you, and then when the clone is born, they own that clone with your DNA in it. But that's the only thing I could figure. Blue Steel, thank you for the donation. Oh yeah, Blue Steel, listen, those DNA scan things are bullshit. They are wholeheartedly bullshit. I mean, people like... So there is a theory. I did run across this. There is a theory with 23andMe. So the I guess the CEOs or the office heads, the people in charge of 23andMe, they all resigned. I think they resigned today or last week sometime. And the ongoing theory is, or rumor, excuse me, not theory, rumor is, they all bounce because there's a lawsuit that's ready to come out on whether or not the Jews in Israel are really the Jews. Meaning, if they did a DNA scan, they could find out that these people are either mixed or not Jews at all. And that is the more interesting thing. And when I heard that, I'm like, that's interesting, because why else would everybody resign all in the same day, right? So, again, it's an interesting theory or rumor. We shall wait and see where this goes. But nonetheless, it's looking very interesting. So, not tonight. Who is Willard and what is not tonight? Oh, Craig's show tonight. I guess Craig the Hunter has a YouTube channel. Only God knows. And listen, I mean, the whole thing over there, man. I really don't care. I saw what the Lebanese did, right? Where they were like, 30-something kids were killed, and I'm like, really? And then they put the amount of people, like the adults that died and the people that got hurt, and I'm like, fucking for real? Seriously? Like, this is where we're going? You know? You want to put the kids there to start tugging at people's heartstrings about, and meanwhile, maybe 5 kids died in that mess. I don't know. Nor do I care. I really don't give a shit. The amount of give a shitting about anything that goes on over there is like, no. I don't care. Somebody put a link in here. I'm trying to find it. Shalom Gogan, if I said that right. There are videos of migrants getting a few $1,000s, not $15,000, but they're getting a few $1,000s a month. And some of these people have left their receipts behind, and people have taken pictures of the receipts and put them on the internet. So I don't know how true it is, but I know that they are getting a substantial amount. And per kid, they're getting like $500 or $1,000, whatever it is. So they're getting a pretty penny, a pretty penny. And the craziness about it is, the money that they're getting to help them out, they don't need to prove that those kids are theirs. So Consuela can walk in with 20 kids that are hers, and she doesn't have to prove that they're hers. And the government's going to give them whatever it is to help them out. And you can also claim cousins and I think nieces and nephews as your kids. So they don't have to sit there. They don't have to sit there and verify these kids at all. So that's why some people are getting a lot of money. I don't know. A lot of people are pissed off about it, rightfully so. But I haven't seen any other proof. But I do recognize those receipts. I have seen those receipts before, and I can see why people are annoyed. But this happened in New York, and then this happened like in Indianapolis or some shit like that. Some fucking shitty state that I didn't think they had migrants. They had migrants there, and a migrant left a receipt behind. Now, the receipt thing could just be somebody agitating people. It might not be a real thing. Who knows? But when they do bring it up to politicians don't answer it either. So it could be happening. But we have bigger fish to fry. Well, rather we don't, because here in the United States, we have our issues to deal with. Now, what's going on in the Middle East, guys, if they do wind up having boots on the ground, my question is, where are those boots going? Are they going to Iraq? Probably not. Not Iran. Are they going into Lebanon? Or are they going into Israel to protect Israel from any invading forces? Which nobody has the right thought process to go ahead and raid or attack Israel again. That should be interesting if they do, but they're not going to. So where are those boots going? Now, we are sending an additional 30,000 troops on top of the 40,000 that are already in the region. Now, the other 40,000 that were in the region, they did bring up, I think they pulled up 10,000 the last few months from a strike group. I think before that, then there were 30,000 there already. Again, for various reasons, not because of what's going on in Israel, but they did bring a strike group in earlier this year, and then they're adding another 30,000, which is putting a total of 70,000 troops in the Middle Eastern region to prepare for whatever happens next. Russia right now cannot afford to get involved with anything. They do not have the finances. I know a lot of people like they have the finance. They do not have the finances. You look up Russia's financial issues right now. They're having big problems, and they're having financial issues with China. So the Chinese reported the financial issues that Russia's having. So it's not the United States news. It's not the the mainstream media. It's the Chinese reporting this to the China, the Ching Chong Chings. They're reporting this to one another, and the propaganda state media, Russia state media is also reporting financial issues, but they're not making it as big as the Chinese are making it, and we are making it because we're reporting it as well. But the Chinese are also talking about the problems they're having. So Russia cannot afford to get involved in anything that happens next. They are out. Maybe they can borrow, they can lend some weapons. They can't lend any cash. They can lend up some broken tanks and shit like that, but they can't get into it physically. They do not have the capacity. I know a lot of Russian supporters are out there. They're like, yes, they can. No, they can't. They lost a lot of troops. So did the Ukraine, by the way. They lost a lot of troops as well. But they cannot expand right now. Yes, Daniel and Prep and Pray. China's also having financial issues as well. Yes, I've been keeping up on top of all of it. And China's reporting their financial issues. So everybody's in a bind. And right now, Russia and China are having a tug of war over a piece of land that belonged to China, supposedly. And the Russians took it over. Now the Chinese are taking it back very slowly. Actually, not even slowly. They took it back. It's all theirs, according to a map. They didn't notify Russia. Russia has realized it. So you got that. You have Russia, what the United States thinks Russia's about to do is make a move on Alaska. That would be a bad move right now. Again, they cannot afford the manpower, and they have been circling around those waters, and China has also helped them circle those waters. And the United States think that they're going to make a move on Alaska. Somebody better tell the Alaskan prepper to get ready to rock and roll if this shit goes down. Thank you, Wolfmeal. Wolfmeal said it. Chinese is not accepting Russia currency right now. Or anymore, right. So that put Russia in a bind. And I read that 3 weeks ago. That put Russia in a bind. Russia's fucked, guys. Russia's screwed. Everybody who sat there was like, Russia's going to win. They're going to wipe the floor with Ukraine. Okay. And I said that wasn't going to happen. And they were like, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. I hope you die and choke on watermelon. Rub cornbread in your eyes. Like all this fucking crazy. All right, so I made those last two up. But you get my point. They were acting like fucking assholes. And now, everything I said Russia wasn't going to do, they're not doing because they can't. And here we are. Now they have financial issues. And both Russia and China, they rushed into that partnership. That is why they're going tits up. And then Putin also admitted that he was joking about backing Kamala Harris. So there goes that. Yes, Chinese real estate is collapsing. I did look into that. And they are knocking building downs. And they are dismantling cities. Because they have hundreds, if not thousands, of ghost cities that they built ahead of time, thinking that this explosion was going to happen with all of these workers, when in fact they're also having an aging problem. Aging meaning they don't have enough kids because of that one-child policy finally caught up with them. The fact that they told women that they couldn't have girls and they killed a lot of baby girls. So it all caught up with them. Then you have a generation that just doesn't want to work anymore. So the Chinese are also having a problem with their people. The people are pushing back, and that's the younger kids pushing back against them. So, China's falling apart, man. Someone says, you're an agent? Yeah, I don't know what that means. And Chris Ricker goes, you are very inaccurate. Chris Ricker, I bet you money I could blow you out of the water with my information. Bottom line. Because everybody keeps saying all this shit about Russia, and Russia is experiencing everything that has been said about them when they started the Ukraine war. About not being able to financially keep up with it. They can't. And then China, who was supposed to back them up financially, can't back them up now because of their financial issues. They are collapsing at the seams. Not collapsing at the seams, but they're having a very hard time over there. They got a bunch of problems that are catching up with them now. Again, the one child policy thing finally caught up with them. Then they have a lazy generation of kids like we do that just doesn't want to work anymore. And they don't want to work and be taxed and have their bank accounts frozen, as they have seen multiple times. So people are pushing back over there. But anytime you guys want to get into a battle of information, by all means, let's have at it. You guys really got to, those of you that still support Russia and China in that matter, take the Russian dick out of your mouth, please. Just slide it out of your mouth and breathe in American air, right? Let your fucking lungs fill up with American air and become a fucking patriot for a change. But again, all of this information is overseas information, not here in the United States. So go figure. The Chinese are reporting about their own problems, and the Chinese are reporting the Russian problems. Anyway, that being said, also, hold on. I keep fucking forgetting about this, and I was supposed to put this in my thing, but I didn't. So give me a second. Lines Festival? Yeah. In the climb. But what you call it? Always with the Vespas. Well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to. All right, guys. So the Self-Reliance Festival, October 5th and 6th. They have a 2-day pass for $95. I'm not sure what the 1-day pass is. They have a VIP red carpet treatment for $450. And then they have workshop classes. So I am speaking on Saturday, not Sunday, but I am staying this Sunday. I'm going to be lingering around like a fucking creep because why not? A single pass is actually $95, and that's for both days. So, doors open at 8, presentations start at 9. The last session will be done by 3 p.m. Sunday. That'll get me home probably about 5 in the morning if I leave right afterwards, or 7 in the morning, excuse me, if I leave right afterwards. Anyway, so listen, the Self-Reliance Festival, I heard it's fucking an awesome time. So, for those that are coming down, again, I won't have a table. I'll be walking around like an asshole. So excuse me on that. Also, guys, do me a favor: hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. If you, I love Russia. Hit the thumbs down because you hate me, and you hate America. And hit the thumbs up if you love America and you can deal with my bullshit. Yeah, you're still here, Scout. Yeah, Red Scout is like a drunk. I think he's a chronic drunk. Too much whiskey. I don't know. Not enough hugs. His mother didn't love him. Who the fuck knows? The comical prepper. I like the comical prepper comment. But anyway, guys. So let's get to it. I'm sorry. I had a lot of shit to actually read over. So we got a half hour to get through this shit. Everybody shut up and listen. Anyway, Israel versus Hezbollah. Lebanon reports at least 558 deaths in 2 days. Out of that 558, they said 30-something were kids. It might be up there in the 40s now, were kids. Of 2 days of Israeli airstrikes as cross-border tension soars. Israeli military has vowed to do whatever is necessary to push Hezbollah away from its borders with Lebanon, as the two sides continue to trade fires since the start of the Israeli-Hamas war. Now, I'll tell you this much: Hamas, Hezbollah, they are the worst sacks of shit in the world, because these people are using people as human shields, and then when people die or kids die, they go, "Oh, look, the Jews, they did the Jewish thing and killed kids. And then you're like, but you kept the weaponry in the hospital. Now, granted, maybe Israel should go, all right, the weaponry is in that school with the kids. Maybe we shouldn't hit it. Right? So, listen, it sucks on both sides because both sides are assholes. If you know that the schools have kids in it, or the hospital have kids and people in it, and they are storing weapons there, maybe don't hit those fucking buildings. You know? I mean, you can't hit the buildings and then go, well, there were weapons in there, but you knew there were kids in there. You knew there were life, right? But also, Hamas and Hezbollah can't turn around and go, oh, look what they did. You actually hid weapons in there. Regardless, you know? Somebody said it isn't allowing me. Sometimes it doesn't allow people to give it a thumbs up. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, and that's the thing. War is ugly. So you can't go, oh, woe is me. You know, like, yeah, you fucking set some shit off. You backed up a group that set some shit off. Now you want to play the woe is me card. And then Lebanon's like, but we didn't do anything. You let Hezbollah into your country. You're just as guilty. All right, Lebanese health authorities on Tuesday updated the death toll from Israel airstrike targeting Hezbollah militia to 558 over the past 2 days. In Gaza, officials reported that a new Israeli airstrike killed at least 7 people in the southern city of Khan Yunis. Israel's military, no, excuse me. I lost my fucking place. In Gaza official, right, sorry. Israel's military has vowed to do whatever is necessary to push Hezbollah away from the border since the ceasefire. All right, on Monday, Israel launched hundreds of airstrikes across the southern and eastern Lebanon, killing nearly 500 people and injuring over 1,600. The airstrikes have triggered a mass exodus from southern Lebanon, with thousands fleeing to Beirut, creating the largest displacement since the 2006 Israel-Hezbollah war. Tensions remain high following a separate attack the previous week on communication infrastructure, for which Lebanon blamed Israel. Israel has not confirmed responsibility. No shit. Hezbollah retaliated by launching approximately 100 projectiles towards Israel on Tuesday, according to the Israel military. Good for them. Latest developments. Israel airstrike hits Beirut suburb. An Israeli airstrike targeted a building in southern Beirut on Tuesday, according to Hezbollah's Al-Manar TV station. Lebanon's national news agencies reported injuries from the airstrike, which destroyed 3 floors of a 6-story apartment building in the Gabar suburb. No immediate word on fatality has been provided. Israel rocket barrage continues. The Israeli military reports 10 more rockets fired from Lebanon on Tuesday afternoon. 1 rocket injured the Israeli reservists and caused damage in the North Israel. Hezbollah confirmed it fired medium-range rockets at Israel military positions in the Elicum area. I don't know if I said that right. Casualties in Gaza, Palestinians, yeah, fuck those people already. Them and they're fucking crying. There are 21 people that were wounded in the Gaza, 7 that were killed, including 3 women. 6 people were killed, including 3 women, and I guess 6 men. 21 people were wounded in that attack. The death toll in Lebanon escalates to 580, here it is. Lebanon Health Ministry stated that 558 people, including 50 kids, it went up to 50, and 94 women have been killed in the Israeli airstrike in the past 2 days. More than 1,800 people have been injured and hospitalization across the country. The minister, Faras Abdi, added that 4 paramedics were among those killed. 16 paramedics and firefighters were also wounded. A journalist working with the Pan-Arab Al-Mahadin Network, were killed during an airstrike in southern Lebanon, becoming the 3rd journalist from the network to die in the conflict. His home was in Bouj Rahli, near somebody's airstrike. I don't know what the fuck that is, nor do I care. All right, So this is Lebanon's death toll. Now, Hezbollah commander, who was supposedly killed yesterday, was found to be alive from the airstrike. So in a statement, Iran-backed movement said Commander Ali Karati, I'm pretty sure it's not it, is well and moved to a safe place. Beirut, Lebanon's Hezbollah said Commander al-Karaki, who was source reported to have been targeted and killed Monday, has been found alive and is moved to a safe location. So now, Israel vows to attack Hezbollah in Lebanon will continue as the death toll rises. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned Hezbollah was leading Lebanon to the edge of abyss. Addressing Lebanese citizens in a video message, he said, "Our war is not with you, the war is with Hezbollah." I don't know if they gave a heads up about this shit and having people leave, but I didn't hear anything about this. More than 550 people were killed, including kids. Yes, we already read that shit. Lebanon Health Ministry described what's happening there as carnage. Israeli military said the head of Hezbollah missiles and rocket unit, Abadim Kourbasi, was killed in an airstrike in Beirut, southern suburbs. There's no immediate comment from Hezbollah. The U.S. President Couch Potato told the UN Assembly in New York that the full-scale conflict was not in anyone's interest and insisted that a diplomatic solution is still possible. Now, this is where Joe Biden needs to shut up and sit down and eat his milk and cookies, because we are well past diplomatic solution. When everything was quieting down, Israel said, let's blow up their phones and their beepers. Okay, now we got this shit going on. And then Joe Biden's like, well, as he's eating his fucking favorite ice cream, we could definitely do something about this. No, the fuck you can't. This is way past diplomatic measures. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned that the world cannot afford Lebanon to become another Gaza. Meanwhile, large numbers continue to flee southern Lebanon, with images emerging of long queues of highways heading north. Long queues of people, they mean. Yo, I want a fucking chocolate cake right now. This is some bullshit. I'm sorry that I went there with that. But yeah. Lebanese hospitals are struggling after minister warned of carnage in Israel. Last week in Lebanon brings back echoes the last year of war in Gaza. Israel issued warning to civilians, as it did to Gaza, to move out of the area to be attacked. It blamed Hezbollah as it blamed Hamas for using civilians as human shields. Some critics, as well as enemies of Israel, said warnings were too vague and did not give enough time for families to evacuate. So they did give a heads up, but again, they probably didn't give enough time. The laws of war demand that civilians be protected and forbid indiscrimination, disproportionate use of force. Some Hezbollah's attack on Israel have hit civilian areas, breaking law designated to protect civilians. I didn't even know there was such a thing. All right, guys, we're going to bomb the shit out of this country, but we can't hit this area and we can't hit that area because there are people here. So we got to hit about a block ahead of those people, and then we'll be good. Like, who the fuck thought of these fucking rules of war? I thought it was like all bets were off, but whatever. Now, this part here, guys, is very important because I thought Iran was going to jump in. A lot of people did. I even made a couple comments last week about Iran jumping in. Iran deflects Hezbollah's request to attack Israel as it steps up its strikes. Hezbollah asked the Iranian patrons to attack Israel as the Israeli Defense Force increased pressure on the Lebanese terror group over the past week. But so far, Tehran has rebuffed the request, meaning ignored the request. I thought they were going to be all in. So I found that to be very interesting. I think, guys, their alliance that they had, that brother pact, the brick pact that they had, fell apart. I don't even think it exists anymore. Like, on paper it exists, but I don't think it physically exists anymore. I don't think these people are on the same page. I had a feeling that that was going to fall apart. I might have mentioned it a couple times, that I don't see that pact lasting too long. I thought it might have lasted a couple years, but it doesn't look like it lasted too long, because if I'm not mistaken, Iran was part of that BRIC pact with Lebanon, Iraq, and was it Qatar? No, maybe it wasn't Qatar. I forgot what other country was part of it. And no one's backing anybody up. China and Russia are splitting apart. Iran is turning their back on Lebanon. This is getting very interesting. Sorry, looking at the chat, which I'm probably sure I shouldn't do. Chocolate cheesecake. I want a chocolate cake too. Yeah, cake, dude. Oh, cake. Cake City. There is one spot I can order cake from. If it's still open by the time I get off the air, I will. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just fight the urge. Whatever. So anyway, guys, 2 Israeli officials cited by the Axios News site that the Iranian told Hezbollah that the timing isn't right for it to intervene because Iranian President Mushid whatever is in New York for the UN General Assembly. Sounds like an excuse. Big Chap, thank you for the donation. Nate, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it as always. Thank you for the donation, guys. That just sounds like a bullshit excuse. Hezbollah asked the Iranians to attack as part of their response to the killing of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran 2 months ago, according to an official. Israel has neither confirmed nor denied an involvement of the assassination of Haniyeh, who was killed in a guest house in Tehran hours after attending a swearing ceremony for the whatever. Nevertheless, Iran and Hamas have blamed Jerusalem and vowed to retaliate. All right. Now, here's the interesting thing. A couple months ago, Tehran warns of severe retaliation to any new Israeli attack. This warning was in April. And now they're completely turning their back on Lebanon, saying, oh, our president is here. Now, that very well could be the case. Maybe the president wants to be in country when they launch an attack against Israel. That could be the case, but I doubt it very much. Anyway, also, Iran's dealing with a methane leak that caused 28 people to die. They had a coal mine explosion a couple of days ago, or maybe it was last week. 28 miners died. And I think Iran is dealing with that bullshit right now. So 17 injured people were transported to the hospital. 24 are still missing. It comes to find out that 28 altogether have died. Authorities were sending emergency personnel into the area after the blast late Saturday. The accident was caused by a methane gas explosion in Block B and C of the mine, which run by a company called Mahujin. Whatever, dude. The total numbers of workers at the time of the explosion was 69. So they lost 28. That's a lot when you think about those numbers. So as I reported before, or rather as I mentioned before, not reported, Pentagon to send more U.S. troops to the Middle East as tension rises. Major General Patrick S. Ryder, the Pentagon press secretary, declined to say exactly how many troops were being deployed. Come to find out, it was 30,000 troops. Pentagon is sending an additional U.S. troops to the Middle East as tension continues to rise after Israel airstrike against Hezbollah killed at least 350 people at the time this was reported. The number of troops will be in the dozens. Once officials said, and will head to the region to help protect thousands of Americans who are still stationed in Lebanon. I don't understand. General Ryder, the Pentagon press secretary, declined to say exactly how many troops are being deployed. In the light of increased tensions in the Middle East and out of the abundance of caution, we are sending a small number of additional U.S. military personnel forward to augment our forces that are already there. The deployment comes a day after the Defense Secretary Lloyd J. Austin III called his Israeli counterpart, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. Mr. Austin stressed the importance of finding a path to diplomatic solution that will allow residents on both sides of the border to return to their homes as quickly and safely as possible. Also, reaching out to reach out for a Gaza ceasefire that will bring all hostages home. I don't know why they're still hanging under this hostage shit. They need to let it go. They need to write these people off. Like a check, dude. Write them off. They're done. If they're still alive, great. If they're not, there's nothing you can do about it. One shot, one kill. I was asking the same question earlier when I read this shit. I was like, what? Once I heard phones and pages are going off, I'm like, all right, Mary, it's time to go. We got to get the fuck out of here. We'd have been bounced. We would have left. I don't know. We wouldn't have hung around. Now, okay, let me walk that back. If I have a family, we're getting the fuck out of there. If I'm by myself, I'm sticking around to see what's going to go down. I'm like, all right, let's see how worse this is going to get. Holy shit. People are losing hands, hips, and dicks. Like, yo, it was serious, man. Hands, hips, and dicks. Gone. And I saw some pictures. Holy shit, man. Some guy's just head gone. Oh, one guy had a hole in his head. I guess from a piece of, from the phone or walkie-talkie. There was a lot of holes in bodies. Guy missing an ass because the fucking phone went off in his ass. Boom! Ass cheek missing, right? Now he has to use a donut to sit down. A couple guys lost their dicks. Yeah, man. Fucked up shit. And those who had it better, like on your hip, awesome. Your arm, okay. But yo, your dick? No, thank you. I don't put a bullet in the back of my head, man. Why? My dick is gone. Put a bullet in the back of my head. I can't live like this, you know? Like one of those war movies, fucking sitting there shaking. Just give me all of the fucking, the painkiller. Put me out of my misery. Because there's no way, man. How did you lose your dick? My phone went off. That's a war story to tell when you go to a bar. Why do you have a colostomy bag? Because I lost my dick in a fucking accident. Somebody blew my dick off. Can you imagine that shit? Yo, insanity. Anyway, back to the reporting. All right. Made it clear that the U.S. remains postured. Okay, so the Secretary made clear that the United States remains postured to protect U.S. forces and personnel and determined to deter any regional actors from exploiting the situation or expanding the conflict. About 40,000 American troops are already there, stationed in that region, in Iraq, Syria, and in the Persian Gulf countries. The USS Abraham Lincoln is in the Gulf of Oman, and the second aircraft carrier, the USS Harry S. Truman, left Norfolk, Virginia on Monday for the Mediterranean. Remember a couple weeks ago, maybe it was a couple months ago, maybe it was a couple weeks ago, they had two airstrike groups moving at an alarm, at a fast pace or something, that they wanted them to get there fast. Now they're sending another strike group there. Yeah, I don't know what's in the phones. I don't care. But I tell you this much, man. I don't carry my phone in my pocket much anymore. The shit stays everywhere else but outside of my pocket. I don't lose my dick. I really don't. I could lose. There's a lot of things you could lose. Your legs, your arm, maybe an eye. You know, my ear. That's fine. Your nuts and your Mr. Winky. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't lose that shit. Like that guy, what's his name? The Bobbit guy, the guy that got his fucking whoop cut off, and his wife threw it out of the window, and he had the audacity to do a point. Not the point, but yo, I don't want to be that dude. Fucking crying and shit. Yo, that there's a lot of things you can lose. That is one of the things you can't. You really can't. That fucking hurts, man. That's an ego fucking damage, the whole 9 yards. Then your wife will fucking break your balls forever. That's why you have no balls, you know? Like in an argument, she'll throw that at you every time. Oh, Mr. No Dick having motherfucker. She'll call you dickless. You don't want to get your balls broken by your wife because you're dickless. At least when you have no arm, you could deal with that, or no leg, you could deal with that. No Mr. Winky, out on that shit. And especially when someone could throw it back in your face. Nope. Tensions have significantly escalated this week between Israel and Hezbollah and the Lebanese militia supported by Iran. Back and forth attacks have brought two sides to the brink of their full-scale war since 2006. They have fought a 34-day conflict that involved Israel ground invasion and death of over 1,000 Lebanon soldiers and 150 Israeli soldiers. So, in a nutshell, guys, this is going to get worse. That's all it is. This is going to be our October surprise, because I think they're going to attack the military troops. Because somebody made a good point. Hacking the homestead. He made a very good point. The more troops... Was it him? Shit. Somebody made it was either him or it was him. He made a good point. The more troops you get involved, the bigger that target becomes. American troop targets become. So if right now they're at 40,000 and you introducing another 30,000, you just made that target from 40,000 to 70,000. So you made them a larger group for them, for the enemies to target at, to lob more missiles at, to get them hurt and killed, and then we become engaged in a war we have no business being in. So there is that. They could be increasing the amount of troops to actually protect American troops, but they're also risking these guys and starting a war because you just made the target a lot bigger by doing so. So there is that. So again, guys, tonight we're going to talk about Kamala Harris and the two things that she's going to do to destroy America. There's also the financial collapse that I am 1,000% sure is supposed to happen regardless. Now, the financial collapse, I'm not really holding my breath on. I'm not holding my breath on any of this shit, by the way. Anything that's said to be happening, I'm not holding my breath. I'm just reporting it as is or talking about it as is. Do I care if any of this shit happens? No. Either way, we're going to be ready. We're going to be, yeah. I prefer not swearing. Red Scout says, I prefer not swearing. Is that a problem? I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care if you curse or don't curse. Don't care. Not a thing. But, if you don't want to curse, don't curse. If you don't like cursing, this is the wrong channel. Like I said, people have told me before, if you don't curse, you can make more money because you have more subscribers. Fuck you and the money. Seriously, I don't care that much. The money is nice, but I don't care enough to change and not curse and be somebody fake and put on a nice polo shirt with a nice little fluorescent color so that it jives with the screen and I look friendly. I'm telling you guys, go to YouTube Academy. You're going to see some of the fakest shit on there. And even if you're not starting a channel, just go into the YouTube Academy and look at it, if it's still up and running. Easy D. Yeah, listen, the whole Diddy thing, I'm like excited about it because it's bringing a lot of shit to light. Matter of fact, guys, there's a video somebody compiled of Justin Bieber, and I didn't like that little fucking asshole, that little piece of shit. I saw that video, I felt bad for him. And I was like, I see why he's the way he is. There's a video going around of Justin Bieber being groped, kissed by an older woman in the mouth, Bridget Nielsen, groped by Katy Perry, excuse me. What's his name? That stupid, white, fat, gay James Corbin, right? In his face talking about how he has nice looking lips and all this other crazy weird shit. I'm like, what the fuck? People, the talk of him being passed around, Diddy fucking being, I felt bad for Justin Bieber. I was like, holy shit. Deterrent, either way, it's definitely a distraction, but it's a real distraction that we've been talking about that's going on in Hollywood, right? So, I mean, like, either way, it needs to be addressed, It needs to be addressed either way. So whether there's a distraction or not, that's something that needs to be focused on because look at all the bullshit that's happening, right? And so, and Diddy had Swedish meatballs. Is that what they're eating in prison now? Because I never had Swedish meatballs. That's fucking bullshit. That's his first meal. There's a list out there. I'm going to get the list for a video I'm going to do probably in the next couple days, but there is a list. Usher's on it. Jennifer Lopez is on it. There's a lot of people on it, man. What's his name? Kobe Bryant. Not Kobe Bryant. The other one. The other fucking asshole. that likes to cry, bitch, and moan. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Kobe Bryant's on it as well. But LeBron's on it. Every musician that Puffy signed up, with the exception of Mace. Mace walked away from Puffy. Matter of fact, Mace had to either Puffy threatened his life, and Mace had to do some slick shit to get out of that with Puffy. But there was a good story that Mace told about the whole thing. It's online. Yes, Leonardo DiCaprio's on that list as well. I saw the whole list online, and I got to get it again. But it's Ashton Kutcher's on the list as well. And I think that's why Ben Affleck left Jennifer Lopez, because I think she told him whatever the fuck she told him about Diddy parties. So yeah. Did Leonardo DiCaprio flee the country? Did he? Ashton Kutcher's left. He's probably gonna have to leave. I know that the couple's stressed out. Whoever he's married to, she's been stressed out. They've been arguing in public a lot ever since Diddy got arrested. Oh yeah, and Big Mike, what's her name? Michelle Obama. There's something coming out about her being a dude. I'm like, oh my God. Again, with all of this shit going on, I can't keep up with everything. I really can't. But that is just glorious. Like, if that comes out, that's going to destroy Obama's presidency. Cuba Gooding Jr., maybe so. Thank you for that. The Kardashians, all of them. Not just, what's her name? Like LeBron James, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's on that list. There's a lot of people on that list, man. A lot of people. Leo left a while ago. Did he? All right. So there's a lot. Obama is on that list as well. There's a couple of other politicians on that list. I think that the FBI is trying to hide. That's why they bagged him. But apparently he's got a lot on a lot of politicians. And if celebrities are the only ones that get in trouble, they have a list of politicians that are on there as well. So they're definitely scrubbing the list, as they would call it. Patty S is like, what list? There is a list of celebrities that Diddy has a lot of files on, whether that's videos, pictures of them doing things to one another, and kids, underage kids. There's no such thing as whatever. Yo, all of it's coming out of... Yes, Jay-Z is another one. He's a big name that's been mentioned a lot. Beyonce. Ellen, I wouldn't be surprised. Tekashi, right? And I don't think Tekashi went to any of... he wasn't that big. You've been sleeping all this time, Jay? No, I have not been sleeping all this time. Listen, for those of you that don't know, especially like Northern Girl Hobbies, I've known about this shit about Diddy since I was a kid. So this is new to a lot of people. But when this shit was being spoken about, and I have spoken about it before, even before all this shit dropped, especially in the Firehouse, I talked about how Diddy's a piece of shit and the kind of shit that he has going on. People are like, he isn't that bad. What do you think he is? Some kind of crime syndicate? And now here all this information's coming out. And again, I heard about this shit when I was a messenger on the fucking streets of New York. That means if I heard about this, everybody who was close to him knows about this. Oprah's another one. John Legend, I didn't hear about, but I wouldn't be surprised. John Legend's wife, probably so. Diddy tapped angry. I used to motherfuck Diddy all the time. Like, people are like, oh, you got to be careful. He's got people on the streets. I'm like, fucking bring them. I don't give a fuck. Remember, I made a comment about Diddy once, and people were like, oh, you got to be careful because there are a lot of people in the streets that know him, and those are his boys. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I said I could tell him where I live, you know? And I gave the address and everything. Guys are like, yo, just be careful. I'm like, fuck him. Seriously, fuck that bag of shit. Now, everything he's done, guys, he has ruined so many lives. So many lives. I mean, again, if you look at Craig Mack, if you look at all of those singing groups he started, he destroyed their lives. Mother Clucker, I just read that. Now, something's up with that, guys. So, Puff Daddy's cellmate is Sam Bankman. Sam Bankman is that crypto asshole. which I don't even think it was that big of a deal, but they made it that big of a deal. But that's his cellmate, another high-profile fucking inmate. That doesn't make any sense. Something's up. Megan Fox, Cat Williams was right, but I also think Cat Williams was a part of that. And I think Cat Williams saw some shit ahead of time, and that's why he bailed, and that's why Hollywood screwed him over. Because he went into a Diddy party and was like, nope, and then went the other way. Marlon Wayans, some of the Wayans family definitely involved in that shit. Will Smith, definitely involved in that. But I think Cat Williams saw some shit, and that's why his career tanked for a little bit, because he backed out and saw what was going on. Meanwhile, LeBron James is going through his initiation with wearing a fucking maid uniform, throwing up the fucking the worshiping signs, right? All of that. I don't know what that is, but Crackshot said was into Aleister Crowley, which is sex magic. I didn't know anything about that. Yeah, something's going to happen to Diddy. That's all I know. But yeah. Megan Fox being a guy makes me sick. What? M Fox. I don't know what that is. But anyway, guys, got to go off the air now. Going to the Angry Truth channel. I'm going to head right over there. I'm going to start that right away. We're going to talk about Kamala Harris and her bullshit. And that's not going to be too long because, yeah, I'm going to go to bed. Listen, guys, the last thing I'm going to say, the one thing I'm going to say before we go off the air, the presence of evil is growing every day. And I am watching all of the symbols now. A lot of the symbols I did not know about. Some of the symbols I did because I was into the Omen movies and The Exorcist, and I studied that stuff. But some of the stuff, like the signs with the hands, I didn't know. And now that I've seen it clear as day, now that I'm seeing a pattern that, not Kevin Hart, what's his name talked about, the initiation into a satanic culture, which is dressing up like a chick, doing all of these rituals. Cat Williams talking about all of this shit. Evil is prevalent now. I mean, it's at an all-time high, and we absolutely, guys, have to do something about it. Because if we don't, we are going to lose. Simple. Anyway, guys, other than that, thank you for watching. Thank you for the donations. I will see you guys in a couple minutes, and I'll see the rest of you guys Friday night. I will not be doing a Thursday night live stream. It will be Friday night instead. All right, guys, thank you and good night.